Georgie and Mandy's first marriage season 1 ending explained. Georgie's The Big Bang Theory story begins. The first season finale of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage dropped jaws in ways no one expected. By the time the credits rolled, viewers were left with more questions than answers, and perhaps none bigger than this. How does this season-ending twist set up Georgie's journey into the universe we know so well from The Big Bang Theory? In this exploration, we are going deep into the finale, dissecting the character arcs, the subtle clues, and the narrative decisions that tether Georgie's story here to the iconic sitcom world fans already adore. A finale that was equal parts emotional and narrative setup. The final episode of Season 1 masterfully walks the line between a heartfelt resolution and a provocative cliffhanger. Throughout the season, we've watched Georgie navigate the challenges of young marriage with Mandy, learning to balance affection with independence, intimacy with personal identity. The finale doesn't shy away from this tension. The climax, a dinner table confrontation that has all the hallmarks of a life-changing revelation, finds Georgie forced to choose between comfort and growth. Mandy, ever perceptive and unflinchingly honest, calls Georgie out on a pattern viewers have been noticing for months: his tendency to rely on external validation rather than confront his own ambitions. This moment is pivotal because it is not just a fight between husband and wife. It's a symbolic tearing away from the safety net of his current life, which sets the stage for his eventual leap into the Big Bang Theory universe. Subtle hints about Georgie's future. If you pay close attention, Season 1 drops a number of Easter eggs hinting at the world Georgie is destined to inhabit. For example, 1. The physics problem seen during the finale. Georgie's old college textbook falls open to a problem he struggled with in his youth. This isn't just a visual gag. It's a narrative nod to the scientific environment that will dominate his future. The scene foreshadows his eventual friendship with Leonard, Sheldon, and the gang, not as strangers, but as peers navigating intellectual and personal growth together. 2. Comic book references. Mandy's subtle teasing about Georgie's obsession with comic book lore is more than character building. It's a bridge to the geek culture that will define the Big Bang Theory. Georgie's nerdiness isn't portrayed as a quirky aside. It's a core component of his identity, one that the finale carefully preserves while simultaneously challenging him to grow beyond it. 3. Family dynamics. The finale deepens the depiction of Georgie's family. His interactions with extended family members highlight his struggle with responsibility and expectation, themes that will later echo in his adult relationships on the sitcom. These glimpses are subtle but crucial. They're the emotional DNA of the character that the Big Bang Theory will eventually adopt. The emotional pivot. Growth versus regression. What makes the finale particularly striking is the way it forces Georgie into emotional action. Unlike many sitcom prequels, Georgie and Mandy's first marriage doesn't simply present him as the comic relief or the affable brother fans might already know. Instead, the writers zero in on his internal conflicts, the insecurities and missteps that define his journey. When Mandy delivers her final lines, simultaneously scolding and encouraging Georgie, he experiences what can only be described as an emotional epiphany. This is the moment the show signals Georgie is ready to leave behind what he knows, for better or worse, and step into the broader world. For fans of the Big Bang Theory, this scene retroactively explains a lot about Georgie's later behavior, his awkward attempts at romance, his sometimes comically misguided confidence, and even his enduring optimism in the face of repeated setbacks. The finale ensures we understand that Georgie's humor and charm are born from struggle, not inherent perfection. Narrative bridges to the Big Bang Theory. One of the most fascinating aspects of the finale is how deliberately it sets up the narrative bridge to the Big Bang Theory. The writers employ several strategies to achieve this. 1. Character traits cemented by the end of Season 1. Georgie's intelligence, vulnerability, and sometimes self-centered tendencies are firmly established. These traits are crucial because they ensure continuity when Georgie eventually crosses over into the sitcom's universe. Fans might notice that Georgie's quirks, his flirtations with science, his occasional narcissism, and his desire to impress are all seated here, giving his later interactions a richer context. 2. Foreshadowing friendships. In one particularly understated scene, Georgie is seen striking up a conversation with a group of young scientists at a local cafe. The dialogue is innocuous on the surface, but the subtext is clear. These are the early building blocks of the social network that will later include Leonard, Howard, and Raj. It's a clever move by the writers, creating a sense of destiny without being heavy-handed. 3. Humor anchored in reality. The finale demonstrates how Georgie's humor often arises from awkwardness, social misreading, and sincere attempts at connection. All hallmark traits fans know from The Big Bang Theory. By embedding this in the context of marital struggle rather than standalone gags, the show gives his comedy emotional weight. Georgie isn't just funny, he's human, and his humor is a coping mechanism as much as it is entertainment. Mandy's role as a narrative catalyst. While Georgie's journey is central, Mandy's presence in the finale cannot be understated. She represents both the anchor and the catalyst for his transformation. In many ways, Mandy is a foil. Where Georgie is hesitant, she is decisive. Where he is insecure, she is confident. Her insistence on honesty forces Georgie to confront the parts of himself he has long avoided. Interestingly, Mandy's departure or her temporary step back from their relationship, depending on how you interpret the ending, is less about punishing Georgie and more about providing narrative space for him to grow. Without this space, Georgie's eventual transition to the world of The Big Bang Theory would feel abrupt or unearned. The finale, therefore, uses Mandy as both a narrative mirror and a launching pad. Why the finale matters for longtime fans. For viewers who grew up watching The Big Bang Theory, the finale of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage is a revelation. It provides backstory without over-explaining, contextualizes behaviors seen in the sitcom, and imbues Georgie with depth that the original show sometimes glossed over. Think about Georgie's later romantic misadventures. The finale sheds light on why he struggles with relationships in the ways he does. His early exposure to conflict, his pattern of deferring to others' expectations, and his ongoing journey towards self-awareness. These foundational experiences give weight to the humor in The Big Bang Theory, transforming jokes into layered character moments. Additionally, the finale enriches the familial context. Georgie's relationship with his parents and siblings, lightly touched on in the sitcom, now carries emotional resonance. Fans can finally trace the roots of his insecurities, ambitions, and occasional bravado to their origin story, making his growth and his mistakes feel both inevitable and sympathetic. Narrative techniques that make the Season 1 finale stand out. The success of this finale isn't just in plot, it's in the narrative craftsmanship. Several techniques contribute to its impact. 1. Parallel storylines. The writers juggle Georgie's personal struggles with broader relational dynamics, allowing the finale to resonate on multiple levels. This dual focus reinforces the idea that individual growth is inseparable from social and familial context. 2. Symbolic imagery. From the recurring textbook motif to subtle comic book visual cues, the finale uses symbolism to hint at Georgie's future. These aren't just decorative, they're functional, giving attentive viewers layers of meaning to unpack.